Join us every week for coaching and Q&A. You'll learn how to get more listings signed and sold following the simple and fun easy listing method. Plus, find hidden gem tips and get motivated as you surround yourself with like-minded peers in this weekly mastermind. Let's jump in.
All right, so to your job, we agree, is to make your seller the most amount of money, but also make his life as simple as he can. He's got a wife going through Parkinson's. He's stressed out about everything. And sometimes that's why they need somebody with your caliber. And if you come at them and say, look, that I have a way to sell your home, save you some money on the commissions, and get you more money than I can get doing it the old-fashioned way, because everything's transparent. My job is to put the most amount of money in your pocket. And by the way, Mr. Climber, you old curmudgeon, I'm one of 750 people out of 2 million people that have this at my fingertips. It's been around for 10 years. It just makes everything transparent, which, if you know anything about the lawsuits that's happened, that's all they were really calling for. You don't have to pay the commissions. I'll get the buyer to do that. And I'm going to get more people at my open house than I could ever do at traditional. When I get more people at my open house, I get more offers. When I get more offers, that's more money going in your pocket. But here's the beautiful thing, when I get multiple offers doing it the way you want me to do it, Mr. Seller, I can't tell them what the purchase price is. I can't let them go and fight it out with each other. And if we get this home priced right, and we get 10 people making offers on the home, everybody gets to see what those offers are. And the way I tell my sellers is, you better believe you can trust me. And I got video documentation. I've got stuff in the website. I got stuff backing up everything that I say. These sellers are making a lot more money with the transparency than you can do on your own. I'm not changing the rules of doing a listing for you. I'm only changing the rules to save you money and get more exposure to your house. And that's my job. And I am so passionate about it, Ace. If you allow the seller to talk you out of doing stuff on this platform, you're not shooting yourself in the foot, you're shooting him in the foot. And it's simply because you haven't prepared him and explained right. You've got so much documentation. I mean, this guy can see what Alan and Joey made. And it's Quinn Greenlee. You got a video from his buyers. I'm not going to lose this home over $10,000. When have you ever had a buyer's agent say that to you before?
Going back to Joy's point, I think that he's very much married to a price point that is above what the market dictates that his home can go for.
Well, again, that's a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
That's where RPR comes in, running a trends report, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's the reality of the neighborhood, because we're either chasing the price up or we're chasing it down. And I am very, very cognizant of taking a listing, because I know it's $3,000 out of my pocket before I take it. And I want to make sure that my sellers know that. Why do I spend $3,000 on selling your home? Because I know it's going to sell. And again, my wife will take them and I won't. And she's at the point now she won't either. And especially in this crazy market. So you got, if we go by sellers and their values and their opinions, what does that make us?
Yes, mans, and that's not what we're here for. We're here as professionals in order to guide them through the process.
And do you realize that's exactly why a lot of sellers put their home on the for sale by owner? because they think they know better. Because everybody has access to internet. The reality is that you have a license, you can do a lot better investigation on pricing than he can. Yeah, because where's he going to go to get his pricing? To Zillow. And Zestimate is never spot on. It's either 100,000 low or 100,000 high. I don't ever see it spot on and stuff too. But that's where, we 90% of our fellow agents out there, they're order takers. I'm just going to take the listing, I'm going to put it up and pray that it sells. And if it doesn't sell, then we'll lower the price down. Then we'll lower it down again. Then we'll lower it down. How many times can you lower it down before they say, you know what, take a hike? I'm going to find an agent that can sell it. So, but we've got to be professionals. All these trainings that you guys are doing, you're doing as much as attorneys, you're doing as much as golf pros, you're doing as much as accountants. In fact, you're doing more training than they're doing. How come they can demand something and people listen to them, but we can't? Because we don't make a case. We don't talk to them. We don't listen to them. Because, I mean, I've turned around to sell, Brett can verify this, and said, oh, when did you get your real estate license? Huh? I don't have a real estate license. Oh, but you're the expert? And
I've
sometimes,
sold 3 houses in my lifetime, so that makes me an expert.
yeah, so my wife's going, yeah, who needs a
Or I
stress?
bought a couple houses.
So, I think there's who was on the call the last time Mike Weiland was on a call? Our fellow agent from Minnesota. Does anybody remember the last training he was on? He was going to take his listing off the platform. We went through Zillow and we looked at the traction that he was getting. And if you recall, I think the home was listed for 20 days. He had over 8,000 views and over 4,000 saves. And by the time we got done with looking at that, and we said to him, so Mike, what do you think now? Does anybody remember his response? Come on, somebody help me out. These are the things you should be remembering, you guys, these responses. It's important in today's world. I guess I better do a better job representing my seller. Instead of allowing the sellers to dictate what I should be doing, if I ask the right questions, they're going to understand that I am the professional and I care about everything that they've got going on. And Ace, that's one thing I know you're good at. For these singers to fall in love with you like they do, it's because you listen to them. And not everybody does. But because you listen to them, you should be listening to them, helping them get out of their problem. We have a license because we are problem solvers. Kenneth, last week, re-engineering that buyer's deal. How many of you would have thought of that? Right? So we have a license. All of us need to make sure that we're taking our license serious. So Kenneth has his hand up. Kenneth?
Yeah, good morning, team. How's it going? How's it going? Hey, I like you, Robert, man. Found a, I found a guy that's kind of carbon copy me, a brother from a different mother. Because my wife tells me when you talk matter of factly to people and give them the facts like I do, I can just cut to the chase. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do. Don't. I said, sweetheart, already you know my voice. My voice is a kind of a commanding voice. I realize that. But I tone it down, but I give a tone that says, we're not here to play games or BS. And I'm smiling and I'm laughing, but the tone they get right away. So what happened? I got a listing. Guess how I got this listing, you guys? I just put in the chat two things because I knew Robert was going to hit us up. Did you guys do any homework? You guys do any homework? Two homework assignments I did. I submitted my information for the Easy directory, waiting for Michelle to give me approval and put me on. And then I had these postcards, 8.5 by 11. And I just started putting them in business locations that I go to, just 5, 6, 7, right? But I started after last week, I committed to doing 30 FSBO walking, handing out these cards. Literally. If the homeowner isn't home, I will put it in their door, you know, kind of, you know how you slide something in the door that they're thin enough so the person will drive up and say, what's on my door? Or their mailbox if it's available. And the others, I'm going to be doing mailers, right? But it's going to be 30 a week, right? And what I'm doing is I'm trying to actually, because this is only in my local market, the FSBOs and the expireds, I want to actually touch bases with them if I can. I want to actually, so they can not only see my face, but that's the postcard I'm using. But this listing, my agent, co-listening with the agent in my office, and she, boy, she's a teacher, and God bless the teachers, because the educators are the ones that really, really get it going. She said, Ken, she's got this listing, and she said, Ken, there's another listing right behind me, and they all know that she's an agent, right? So they come to her in the HOA meetings asking questions, you know, what it costs to sell my house, et cetera, and she does whatever she does. And so when she came to me, Ken, I got these 2 listings, one next month, but one right away. And she said, but this lady is a lot like me, and she's asked me these questions I'm going to ask you. This platform, this buyer's premium, I don't understand it. So before we get there, I'm telling you, she's going to ask, what is a buyer's premium? And is this an auction? Because she kept telling me that sounds like an auction. And I wanted that cleared up. So I walk in, hi. Now the mother, there's a daughter and a mother on top. Daughter's there, mom's not. Daughter's there laughing, and she's serving up coffee, water. And she sits down and says, guess what the first question was? So I'm telling her, you know, I want to wait for your mom. She said, no, I want to clear up one question. What is the easy plat buyer premium? Because my agent had prepared me for that question, I went to my buddy, you know, that guy named Mr. Chat GPT, and asked him the question and made my own cover sheet that I highlighted exactly how long, because the question was based on the fact they hadn't heard of it. I've never heard of this buyer's premium. I don't know what it is. So as I told him, once I told my agent what it was and how long it's been around, it's nothing new. It's new how we use it, but it's nothing new to the real estate industry. So I highlighted that section, and I told her, I told him, please read the highlighted area. Waited a few minutes that she read it. I said, now, you have any more questions? She said, yeah. How does this work on your Easy platform, which opened the door for me to go through the Easy explanation? I said, well, can we wait for your mom? And all of a sudden, here come her mom. She's like me, she needs an operation. So she was yelling from downstairs, wait for me. She gets upstairs, and her mom is tough. She's staring at me. She said, listen, I don't want to sit through a whole lot of sales stuff. Get to the point. Tell us what you're going to sell the house for. Blah, blah, blah. My daughter's talking about some easy something, and it's not easy for me. Just get to the point. And so I laughed. I said, okay, You're my kind of seller. And she gave me this look like, if you don't get started, buddy, I'm going to use this walking stick. And I got it on her face, and I just started cracking up laughing. She said, why are you laughing? I said, I'm laughing at the look on your face. But here we go. I went into the easy platform. And how I explained it was, it helps both you and it helps the buyer. I explained how the new law, and I just happen to have one flyer that explained the new lawsuit that came out in August, and why we are now bound by the effects of that lawsuit, which further crippled buyers from buying houses because they come up with a down payment, closing costs, and now where traditionally the listing agent helped to pay the commission of their agent, now they have to pay their own agent. And it's nothing we can do about it, except put them on the easy platform. She said, what? And I started laughing again. I have a loud laugh, you can imagine. And she said, are you laughing at me? I said, no, I'm laughing with you because I'm getting to that point. And as I explained it, every little thing I explained, I said, do you have any questions? No. I see. Explain it a little more. No. Keep going. By the time I got to how the buyer premium helps the buyer, they were bought in to an extent. And the owner that lives in the property said, Ken, how many open houses you're going to have? I said, tell you what, why don't we do this? Linda, who is my agent in the office, she knows Alton Jones. And I'm personal friends with Alton. He's a contractor. Oh, you're a contractor? You know, when I sell this unit, we're building ADUs. I want 2 ADUs in my mother's backyard. And I want to use this money to help do it. I didn't know Linda didn't tell me you were a contractor. I said, well, Alton is the actual ADU guy. Let me do this. I got a YouTube video, and Alton is selling a house. And I'm not going to play the whole video. I'm going to cut to the chase, showing the people showing up at his property and how the easy platform is running in real time and people are bidding. I went to that video. When I was through with the video, they were signing papers. They were literally signing papers. Now as brokers, we can revise the zip forms. We use zip forms here in California with the California Association of Realtors, and the previous 6-page listing agreement has now blossomed to 20 pages. But I have my own listing agreement, which I went back to those 8 pages and condensed what they said and added some information about that affects the thing that happened in August last year. And I held them both up, the 20-page agreement and my listing agreement. I said, which one you want to sign, this one or the one in my right hand, the 20-pager? And they looked at them and they said, oh, no, we want that one. And they signed a listing agreement, and we were through in less than an hour. And they said, thank you, Ken. You know, the only thing had us hung up was the buyer's premium. And, oh yeah, let me tell you about the open house. When they asked that question, I said, we only do one open house. Only one open house? What if it doesn't, nobody shows up? I said, wait a minute. It's how we do the open house. And did you see, and I happen to have my laptop right there. I said, did you see what was happening at Alton's open house? They said, yeah, all those people. I said, yes, 150 people in the rain showed up. and he got 33 actual approved buyers bidding on the property. And then guess what I did? I took them to the MLS sold on property, let them know what it sold for. And that's why they said, let's sign up. Okay. So guess what that does? Since Linda lives in this development and she has another client, she said, well, what are you going to do with the people in this development that I know are going to come through my house? I said, we got them covered. I got 5 assistants, all family members that's going to help us. And we're going to show the property, have people situated where it's going to be very smooth. You're not going to be here. It's going to be from 11 till 3, and we're in and we're out. And look for dynamic offers coming in after that open house, because now everybody has seen the product that they've been loving online. Thank you very much. She walked me downstairs. Done deal. Done deal. Linda helping me with that one question on buyer premium allowed me to open the conversation, and the Alton video literally closed the deal. And that was it. That was it. Like less than an hour, and they were signed up. So
Awesome, Kenneth. Thank you.
Yeah. the process
Really awesome.
works. The process works.
Processes, the tools, the verify, trust and verify, trust and verify, trust and verify. You have more content than we've ever had on the platform we've done over the last few weeks. Those tools weren't made for me, they were made for you. And it's exciting that this stuff is starting to kick in. Like I say, it's we're getting into an exciting time. With interest rates coming down a little bit and the most mortgage applications being filled out 2 weeks ago than in the last 2 years in 1 week. So if it says anything to all of us that are professionals, let's go out and get listings. And this is the time to do it. So from here forward, you guys, just to make sure everybody's clear on it, Thursdays and Mondays now are going to be tied into getting 10 listings a month, training till we're done with it. And then on Mondays, we'll go back as a community and try to figure out successes, what worked well for you, what didn't work for you, and make it better. So I had a couple people call and said they couldn't be on today and asked if I'd wait until Thursday. So, because they want to be at home by their computer so they can actually get this stuff set up. So I would highly suggest Thursday that you're by your computer and that we get stuff set up on there. Okay. So Kenneth, is your hand still raised for a reason? Or are you good?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to report on the reverse engineering. The reverse engineering was working until David Elkins called me and said the lady bowed out. She refused to give me her. She was trying to do a DSCR on a commercial property for her business, and she would not give David the tax returns to get a lower rate. She had the credit score, everything, and he believes it's because her tax returns were either incomplete or whatever. So it was going great until she backed out because of the tax return issue. So the reverse engineering works, except for everything has to work. It has to work. So I just wanted to give a report on that. That's all.
Right. So buyers that want to buy a home, unfortunately, it's the worst thing they have to go through is do the stuff that the lenders ask for. So anyways, but that's too bad. But see how she goes. Anything else to report? Any questions that we can answer?
Actually, yes. Whenever you walked us through last week on the USPS website?
Every door direct program.
Yes. I guess my question was like whenever I was trying to put it together and trying to figure out where is it that I want to concentrate on? Like, are there any metrics that you utilized in order to determine what would give you the highest rate of success, such as turnover? And if you got that turnover information, like where was it that you were able to get that from?
I don't get turnover information. I basically am farming an area and I am sending it to everybody. You can set up the criteria through the Every Door Direct program. And what I told you I like to do is, when I do my area, I find out the income. I also set it up so I'm only sending it to residential. I am not sending it to businesses. Now, that being said, other people have sent it to businesses too
Cool.
and had a fair amount of success with that too. I don't. Does that answer your question, Ace?
Yes, in a sense, but I guess that's sometime I'd like you to take a look at these tools that I have, in order to kind of set up a farm and see if maybe perhaps like if it could be useful in this situation.
Ace, I would say that if you're going to do a target marketing approach, then you're not going to be able to utilize the Every Door Direct. So the mailings are going to be a little more expensive, but in theory, you shouldn't have to mail as many because you really got a targeted audience you're going after that might be more likely than just a neighborhood, a mail route, to be wanting to sell.
Okay, then, like say for example, then with Kenneth earlier, like he was talking about how he would like to eventually get these for sale by owner postcards out and mail it to them. I guess that this everyday mailer program would not be useful for that. Is that right? Other than maybe perhaps driving
Yeah,
down the cost of postage?
and Every Door Direct just goes to mail routes that the mailmen go to. So you're picking a location that you like. And well, when we did this thing the other day, Robert showed how we ended up putting like an age bracket in. And I think the results show you the percentages of people in that mail route that fit that parameter. Is that right, Robert?
Yep.
So in that way, you can somewhat target it. But I mean, if you just want to go get a list of an age bracket, years in the house, that you can't do Every Door Direct because you're gonna have to have a mailing label and a stamp.
Okay.
Yeah, and every door direct is not targeted marketing. It's targeting a community, but you're sending it to every single person. Like mine is when I own a home. You can actually isolate that down through the reports. Target marketing, we're going to talk about more on Thursday. And what we do. Like I have for those of you who've gone through the mail merge program, I have a mail merge program that I use for stuff like that. And especially with these foreclosures and this other stuff that are coming up, I have a letter that looks like it's from a bank that I send out, and I promise you 80 to 90% that you send out, you'll get a phone call. You just got to know what to do with them after you get the phone call. So that I don't know if we'll get to all that on Thursday with the hour, but that's why it's going to take a little while to get all this stuff done because there's a lot of facets. The Every Door Direct is just a very, very economical way to hit a neighborhood. And like I always tell everybody, hit a neighborhood where you live and make sure that your postcard reflects that. I not only live and play here, but this is my home. Who's better to list your home than somebody that lives in the neighborhood? And again, you tie it in with the unique selling proposition. My sellers never pay a commission. They're thinking about selling their home. You think they might give you a call? Even if they're son, daughter, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, or realtors? Happens all the time. So by the time we get done with the marketing, it's gonna, we're just doing it a step at a time. But target marketing is one of the hour-long sessions. All right. Who else has something?
Robert, how are you doing on the cheat sheet?
It's done, but I'm gonna have some people look at it before I send it out, Frank. I was waiting for that on Thursday, believe it or not. It's coming. I don't use GPT for my stuff. Apparently I could have had it done a long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well,
No, I mean, but to get our hands on that once you send it out, I mean, to me that's a great thing every morning when you're just getting going, having your coffee, and if you just review that daily, get that repetition in, so it's like second nature. That's why I'm very interested in knowing when it's going to be available.
yeah, it's done. The other thing too is the investor class is done. Um,
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many of you are interested in becoming your own investors, but after talking to 100, 200, 300, they all have the same common reoccurring theme. They don't know what the property is before they list it. They're pricing it based on what a seller says. They don't run title reports, see if the title's clean. They don't validate and verify like we're doing. So we are talking about setting up a system where we do all the marketing for you. We do all the lead intake for you. We do the dispositioning for you. And then all we do is we send over the acquisition part of it. You figure out what deal you want. And then again, for you guys, you would assign it to yourself. And so we're talking about setting up a turnkey investor. And why am I doing this? Because I am tired of fighting stupid stuff. Yeah, in fact, here I'll show you just a little eye-opening thing. And this is not saying that anybody's doing it wrong. They're just not being taught the same processes. They're more or less order takers. All right. So here's a home. I'm just going to go down through what happened last week. Here's Joy. This is the home Joy has listed. She gets out to the property and they find out they have an inspection or something done. Property's only worth 140. She's got it listed for she's got the contract was 120. It's got a leaking roof and a leaking sewer line. How did they not know about that before they took it? Here's one that's somewhere, 3 refrigerators in there. They thought it smelt so bad and the home was very dirty. Well, the seller had told me it was something else. Here's one needs a price adjustment because it's dirty. They got boxes laying all over the place and yada yada yada. Here's one the owner will not let him sell the house be shown. Here's one's listed by another broker. This one, new cheers on the line. She sent pictures and videos of a home we're trying to sell for $700,000. It's got mold in the toilet, spiders coming out of everywhere, and a lot of things that need to be done beforehand. This home's, she's got a contract price of 700,000. It's worth 950 clean. Half terminate, seller owes $410,000 on a second loan. Seller says that he can't sell the home. Not right now. The sellers will not let him show the home. So we're getting the same common reoccurring theme. Now I'm starting to talk to, and I'm only going to take a select few because one of the things you guys know that Adam knows is craft backward forward. We're having a big, huge thing a big, huge meeting at 3:00 today with all of our people saying, let's get this stuff set up. Let us do the stuff for you. Investor, the stuff I'm talking about doing, I can reduce their overhead by three quarters. I mean, think about that. And not only that, they're going to end up with 70% of what we turn over closing. And that's because of remedial at the acquisition part. They come through our training. Like I say, Adam's 10 for 10 on everything that he's done through the company. And they would not have sold without having a buyer's premium at their helm. So we've been putting together this program. We're about, again, we keep taking it up another notch. I've already got 9 investors that want to join our conglomeration, our turnkey operation, because they know the results that we're getting and they know that what our homes are selling. So if anybody is interested in being an investor in this economy, why wouldn't you? When we can make things turnkey for you, and you don't have to do all these steps all you got to be doing is good at talking to a seller. What is the right thing to do for you, Mr. Seller? I have 4 different options. I got a cash offer price. I got the partnership agreement. I've got the investor. And then worst case scenario, I'll list your home and not charge you a commission. What seller wouldn't go for that? And here's the good thing. We disclose to the sellers. So we're not going A to B, B to C. You guys understand with these investors that are doing it, how much money they're losing by doing a double closing? I mean, we had on a partner that does that. The dude was getting 1 to 10% per deal. The investors have been led to believe, well, I don't want my seller to know what I'm making. Well, if you're disclosing and you're doing this with the seller and you're giving them choices, why do we have to hide things from them? I wouldn't be able to sleep with myself at night if the seller didn't know what I was doing and what I was making. And the greatest thing is, so Ace, here's a good thing for you. The greatest thing is, I give them 4 options, choose one. And I'll lead them down the path. Obviously, the cash deals are going to be far and few, because I don't even feel good about giving somebody 70% less than their property's worth, minus the repairs, minus the fees that we charge. I'd feel like a robber if I ever did one of those.
Yeah.
But there are instances where they don't care. Probates. All they want to do is get it sold and get the money back.
Yeah.
So there's times to do that. We've got turnkey lenders. We've got turnkey if you want to do the A to B, B to C, and lie to your sellers. So all that stuff will be inside this. They're already start taking your business and making you more profitable. Now, I don't do, even when we did the invest, I don't do a lot of the cash outs because I want to be able to sleep at night. But there are times when you need to if your seller chooses it, can I sleep at night knowing he chose it? She chose it? But for all of you that are in the investor world, we have turnkey this, we have perfected it, and now we're going to offer the services to get this thing. All you got to do is go out and say, okay, Mr. Seller, which one you want to do? When we take a seller intake form, Jeff spends a half hour with each seller minimum. The form is exhaustive. Then he has them back it up by sending pictures. Okay? And if there's any reason to doubt those pictures, that's when I pay the agents to go out and give me a $200 report with pictures, right? Trust and verify. Trust and verify. If the pictures make sense, home is redone, they want to do it this way, I run a title report, make sure the title's clean on it. When I give this thing back to the acquisition manager, they've got the CMA from the agent. They've got a title report that's clean. They have pictures. They have the seller lead intake form, and everything to back up what we said is verified and true. How does that sound to you guys who've been doing investing or dealt with investors?
Man, sounds great to me, man. Absolutely.
And not only that, because we're able to get the 10% buyer's premium, you're making 3.5%. Just imagine if you're the investor. Now you're making the 3.5%, plus you're making the spread. But I mean, what could be better?
Exactly. Exactly.
So we are moving in a direction at a rapid speed, and this is just because I completely understand these investors that I was showing you. The minimum they're spending on marketing is $25,000 just on marketing. Their lead intake form, $2,500 a month. The person to lead intake. Then they got a underwriter / disposition manager, paying him 10% of each deal, which is anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 per deal, right? The only problem is they don't close many deals. Then they got their acquisition manager. They're giving another 10% too. And then they've got a phone caller that they're paying $2,500 to $5,000 a month. Add
So
marketing on
Robert,
top. Yes.
can I ask you, are you saying that these investors are literally getting leads that come in, and because the lead doesn't fit their buy box, they're just throwing the lead away, even though
That's
it
the biggest
was
thing.
a
But even when they fit the
motivated.
buy box, they don't understand what they're taking in. They're not verifying the information that they're getting.
So, but I'm saying traditionally they've just been shoving those leads to the side, not doing anything with them.
Yep, those are called non-converted leads. Does anybody remember how many non-converted lead Adams
Man,
closed on our site?
10,
10 for 10.
10. Yeah,
10 for
10 of 10. And I'm
No,
going to go
yeah, I said
back.
10 for 10.
I'm going to go back and play this video for you. This is a new one. Tell me what's different than what Adam says.
Huge shout out to Robert and his team. Easy Real Estate platform has been incredible, a godsend avenue for me. I'm a real estate investor. Last month, I hit a roadblock. I was having a really hard time disposing my deals. One deal sat on the market for 2 months and I couldn't move it. So I had to pivot. I had to start looking for other avenues, and I got on Google and researched. I contacted, and then Robert called immediately. I didn't speak to a robot. Robert was so helpful. I'm closing my first deal next week. This was the deal that I literally couldn't sell. Sat on the market. Called the realtor every single day. Tried to push it. Tried to do an open house. Nothing worked on this one. But 2 weeks, I listed it in Easy Realty platform. We were able to close. We got a buyer's contract signed, sent it to the title company, and closing on that sucker next week. So it's been a blessing. It's been a godsend. And Robert is always going above and beyond to really help. And
So the key thing is that these are things she was not able to sell with anybody else because of the buyer's premium. And if you guys recall, Adam pretty much said the same thing, that these are leads that wouldn't have sold anywhere else.
right?
And you guys, we have this at our fingertips. I mean, for crying out loud, Adam's making an average of $47,000 on 10 deals that he did in 2 months, simply by following the processes that we've outlaid in this program. There is a huge opportunity, not only for your investor friends, but for you as well. Because we will teach you the right way to do this and make you successful. We've got the guru. He's already proven the system. You know, by the way, that one she talked about closed in 2 weeks. And it was a foreclosure that they had a timeline, but she had it priced right. So anyways, hopefully that helps. Anybody that's interested in doing that, please call. And I'll tell you how it works. If you're not interested, that's okay too. We're still going to give you leads. But this investor network is going to grow at a rapid pace. It already is. All right. So other than that, it's 2:00. Appreciate everybody. Thursday, please don't be driving around. Be on your computer. All right, so that we can continue making stuff and doing it. I know you guys wanted me to check your YouTube channels and your settings. So if you want to arrange a time with me separately, I'd be happy to do that. And those of you who are running Facebook ads, I can also do the same thing. All right. So anyways, but appreciate everybody. Thanks for being on, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Great. Thank you, Robert.
Hey, Brett, I'm going to give you a call in 2 seconds.